All right, folks, we're going to talk about dandelions and why do dandelions sometimes make it through a weed control application. So this is my little automation thing that should zoom in over here. Okay, so say this is the ground. Okay, dandelions are, as you know, they've got green leaves down here. A lot of times they'll have yellow flower somewhere around there. And then they'll also have their little stems that have the little seed ball on them that blows away all in the wind. So what happens is sometimes dandelions tend to overwinter fairly well. And so in the summertime or springtime, you can see the green and the yellow and the seed heads, super obvious weeds, like really apparent whenever you have them. They stick out like a sore thumb. What happens though, dandelions also have what's called a taproot, like a carrot. So the root goes down pretty deep, like that, down into the ground, whereas most weeds are going to have, roots like that, whereas dandelions have this taproot. And so those things can overwinter really well. And so what happens is if it's like January and you have a dandelion, it can be alive down in this root. But if there's no leaf up here over the winter for us to treat, or maybe the leaf is there, but say it's really, really small. Say it's the leaf, January or so, the leaf is just really tiny and it hasn't had a chance to grow much yet. And you still have your lawn, like your dead lawn from last year, is tall. So the stuff that we use is called a contact herbicide. And so we spray the herbicide down on the ground and it lands kind of all over everything that is sticking up. Sometimes that herbicide doesn't make it all the way down to these tiny little leaves on the top of this taproot in the winter time. Whenever it turns into March and April and these leaves get bigger and then you can start to see them over the grass, then we can come back and we can spot treat and we'll apply the herbicide actually and it'll get on the leaf and then it will actually kill the thing out. So you ask about, okay, well, what about the pre-emergent? Well, we put a pre-emergent down and it lands up here, but then it gets washed down onto the soil and then you have a pre-emergent barrier that keeps weeds from coming in. But that's only going to keep weed seeds from coming in. So weeds that are already alive, like a dandelion, that's not coming back from a seed. That's coming back from its root. And so the pre-emergent doesn't kill a plant that's already growing. So if the root is already in the ground and it's ready to send out, leaves and flowers or whatever, it can still do that if it hasn't been able to be killed by the post-emergent, which is what happens whenever the leaves are really small. So it's pretty unlikely that you would have dandelions if you've been a customer of ours for more than one season, because at that point you've got a buildup of pre-emergent and post-emergent that we've been working on for a while. But it does happen sometimes. And the important thing for you to remember is that we're going to take care of that always. Like, should never be any hesitation from our customers to let us know whenever you have a weed pop through, because we're going to take care of it right away. So anyways, that is why dandelions can pop through sometimes. They weren't able to be contacted by the herbicide yet. And so now it's getting where the dandelions are leafing out from their root. We can come in there and spray them out. So anyways, let us know if you have any dandelions or any other weeds or any other lawn problems, and we are on it for you.